Hey everyone, StamBluke7 here, and today we're doing another iRacing video. I haven't posted a video on my channel in like, what, 2 months now, or pretty close to 2 months, so it's been a while. I did a couple of these in August, and I've had a lot saved up, just didn't get around to posting them, got distracted with some other stuff, doing a lot of extra work into the Halo League recently. But now I'm starting to get most of that set up and, getting closer to that well-oiled machine that I want it to be. So we're getting closer to that. I wanted to go back to doing some stuff on my channel. So we've got another race here, and this is, I'm not clickbaiting in the title, I hope not. This is easily my craziest dirt race that I've done. Not the greatest start, for sure. But yeah, as far as it goes for me, like, this is easily my craziest race. We started in third, as you can see, and it's not the quickest start by any means, but either way, have a decent one at least. I think I'm able to pull up and get the wide entry here, so I think we cleared whoever is behind us. But yeah, starting in third, and there's two other drivers in the lobby that I knew to look out for because I've raced against them before, and I knew they were pretty high rated and pretty fast. So I knew that this lobby was like, it was going to be difficult to win, but it was also, it's always an opportunity, right? That's how you got to look at it, as an opportunity. You can't go into it and be like, oh, I got these people that are like double my rating. I guess I'll just try to get a podium. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to have like, I don't know, it's nice to have like a minimum goal, but you always want to look at it as an opportunity and shoot for the best possible result that you can get. So you have to look at, like, whenever you get in a lobby like this, like that, because it's probably going to be a higher strength of field, and higher strength of field, if you do better, you're going to get more of that I rating, especially if you're, like, lower, like I am. But I think I'm at 2,250 or something like that in dirt right now, I want to say, which isn't that bad. But again, compared to the guys that I'm competing against, I want to say one of them's at like 3,000, one of them's at like 4,000. So that's quite a bit. That's quite a lot more. So expecting them to be pretty solid. But yeah, that 6 car in front of us had a really good start, and the 2 car got by him, and the 6 car kind of started like falling off a little bit. We start to catch up to him in a little bit here. But yeah, the beginning of this race is pretty tame. Mostly just running the inside, which I needed to not be running, because I don't know, it was just not the play. I think like I eventually switched to kind of like a middle line, and right here I'm watching the guys in front of me, and I'm seeing like the line that they're running, and they're running a little bit higher than I am. And I think around like that corner when I was actually racing, the one that we just watched, I think that's around that corner is when I realized, like, maybe there's something to it. But I was still committed to the inside, and I still ran the inside, I want to say a few more laps. And then in a few laps here, I ended up, I think already here, you could see I took a wider entry. Yeah, so it was about that corner. So yeah, already here, I took a wider entry. Felt better. Felt like there was a lot more, grip. That being said, I wasn't used to entering the corner like that, so I go back to the inside in this one. So yeah, I wasn't used to it, so I had to adapt to it a little bit, which is always difficult to do in the middle of the race. But I started, you could already see in that corner, started experimenting a little bit, going a little bit wider in the entry, seeing if there was something there. And then right here as well with that big bobble on the inside, I think that's, again, the more that stuff like that was happening, the more I was just like, yeah, this inside, I gotta move up at some point, right? It's like, do I want to just take this podium, or do I want to have a chance to win? Because if we switch this here, we'll take a look at this. Yeah, you can see this guy, who's also a pretty fast driver in our lobby, is like right behind me, and he's honestly running the inside better than me at this point in the race. Like, he was getting pretty close. So when I see him doing that, again, I'm just thinking like, okay, what am I fighting for here? Like, am I fighting for this third, or am I trying to win? And that's, at some point I was like, I think right here, because yeah, here's where I start running the outside, or like more middle line in turn 1 as well. And you could already see, like, it's pretty close between us on that corner, but the more I get used to it, the more I start to run it, the more I start to gain. And yeah, taking a wider line here too. And the 6 got really out of shape in front of us, like super out of shape. And then boom, they lose it. Let's watch that from their POV. I don't know how this happened, to be honest with you. Let's watch this. Maybe just too aggressive. Like, look at the steering wheel. Just too aggressive in? I don't know. Didn't get the wheel back to, like, counter steer quick enough. I'm not sure exactly what happened here. How they... And yeah, and like saving it the first time, they got too far to the inside, and then they couldn't save it from there, so... Yeah, that was tough. So that car, again, had a pretty good start. Jesus, look at this cockpit view from the guy behind us. But yeah, you can tell, like, we've already, from that last lap, gained quite a bit on this guy. And yeah, he was doing a pretty good job behind us. And again, I think was faster than us on the inside, gaining time. But then I switched to the like middle outside, and then that's where I start to see success. I could tell that I was pulling away from him behind us. I was like, all right, that's pretty good. Like, I know that this guy's a good driver. I got good driver in front of me, good driver behind me. I know he's a solid driver, and if I'm taking this line, I'm starting to pull away. Like, that's got to be a good thing, right? And then pretty quickly, I start to realize, like, it kind of looks like I'm gaining on the leader, too. I don't know what I was doing exactly. Like, I'm running a little bit. I think maybe part of it is I'm running a bit of a lower line. Like, I'm still running higher than the inside, but I'm running more of, like, a middle line, where it seemed like, at least in the last corner, the two car ran a lot higher than I did. Now, it kind of looks like we ran pretty similar lines through 1 and 2 here, but at least 3 and 4 the last time seemed like they went a lot higher than I did. See if that's the case this time. No, this time it seems like they make the adjustment. They might have even went lower than I did this time, interestingly enough. I think we're a little over halfway through the race at this point. And again, like, it's not too crazy yet. It's, well, spoiler alert, when I start to catch to the lead, that's when things get crazy. And again, I stick it to the middle, like closer to the inside. Seems like they go a little too wide. Let's take a look behind us. As you can see, we've very well gapped Jacob behind us now. So we've opened up that gap quite a bit. So now I know that I don't, you know, at least at the moment, I don't really have to worry about him behind me. Like, I should be good there. So that being said, I don't know, I haven't mentioned this, but we got a lap driver in front of me, and the leader gets by him first, and I'm just like, at this moment, I'm just like, oh man, it seems like I'm gaining on the leader, and of course, there has to be a lap driver at this point. Like, just please, just get out of the way, just let me go on my way, because I actually feel like I have a chance at this point, and I really just want to get that clean air and see if I can actually make up this ground. Because a lot of my wins in dirt, or my wins in dirt this season so far have been kind of split. Here we go. They've been kind of split. I've had a couple wins where I feel like I had the best pace, and I've had a couple wins where I had good pace, but felt like I got a little lucky. And right there, that could have been, that slide up from the lapper could have been bad, but we handled that pretty well and get by him. So, handled that pretty well. And while we're gaining on the lead, too. Lap 16, 20-lap race. So there's not that many laps left. We're getting close to the end here, and here we are. We're at the leader. And this was a big gap. This was a big gap before, but I was putting in some pretty good laps, switching it up to this, like, more middle line. And now we're right there, and I think he even made a little bit of contact with the wall right there. It's a little mistake. I get a much better drive into the turn here. You see, I got it rotated a lot better. I even had to check up a little bit, not hit him too hard on the exit there. And right here, this is where things get interesting, is when they see me coming up behind and making up time on their line, and they switch it up and start to run the inside. You can tell I had the run here. I even gave them a bump. Like, I had the run for sure. I definitely had a faster corner, but they got up in front of me. So this is where, again, things get really interesting, because they switch it up. Look at this. They start running it like this. Let's go to the TV view, because this is where things get pretty sweet. But yeah, they go to the inside. They switch it up. And look at that, just like super deep dive. I'm really high. And we just get the nose under him. We just get the nose under him. They try to slide up in front. Just barely get the nose under him. And we have so much momentum, so much of a run. And I'm trying to get high again. Maybe I should have stuck it to the inside, but I felt so much better about the high line. So kind of risky, but I decided to go back to the high line. Look at how close we are. Maybe even like slight touch, really close. That would have been a crazy finish if that was the last lap. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was the right decision, but I decided I liked the high side so much more. I liked the grip on the high side so much more. Even though I had that run, I did not want to run the inside. And look at how much we got away from him in 1 and 2. Running it there, we got so much further away from him, and now that's the gap. Lap 19, so we're coming to the white flag this time by, and again, that 1 and 2, that last lap was huge. I got such a nice gap from that, and now we're in this last lap. Got to get around these corners one more time. and we'll see our 1 and 2. I think they actually had a pretty decent run, but not good enough. And 3 and 4, I mean, basically I have to screw up. And I decided to go a little bit lower and just protect. Like, you could tell right there the way I ran the corner, I decided to just run the protective defensive line just to make sure we secure it. And we do secure it, take the win. And yeah, pretty sick battle. I wish it could have went on longer, even though it was still pretty good, but pretty sweet battle. We'll shout him out. Or it was Chad Brill in 2nd place. That was a sweet battle. Like, that was easily the most fun like lead battle that I've had, like little back and forth on any of these yet. Like, that was really fun. But yeah, crazy race, really clean battle, but really aggressive too. And he has a lot of fun. I'm really glad that we won that one because, again, like, my dirt wins this season, kind of like half of them feel like they've been on pace, half of them were a little bit of luck. But most of them, even when the ones on pace, were me starting from, like, first and just running away with it. So having a race like this where I had to make some passes like that and you know, have that pace and, like, make the overtakes too, right? A lot of them where I had pace starting from the pole, just running away with it. Like, it was nice to have a race win like this where it was good pace and I made the passes too. Like, that was a really cool feeling. So, awesome race. This is a fun one. Try to post more of these in the future if I can. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. If there is a next one, I hope there is.